Jim Hinton is the founder of Own Innovation and an intellectual property lawyer, and he joins me now from Cambridge, Ontario. Jim, it's great to speak to you tonight.
Yeah, great to speak with you.
So I understand from our producers who've spoken to you in advance of this that you don't think this is surprising. Why is that?
Yeah, it's not surprising because it's based off of economic thinking from about 100 years ago. You don't just build a factory and then get picked up because you're localized and near there. All of the value is in the intangible assets, the IP, the data, and only 7% of the value of these deals ultimately flows down to the labor cost. So we were betting on something that has passed us by already.
So now Honda's saying this is a temporary pause, at least 2 years, and that it's because of low demand for electric vehicles. What do you believe is the truth in all of this?
Yeah, it's the whole strategy, Canada's electric vehicle manufacturing strategy, was doomed from the start because we were betting on a game that doesn't exist. And we've seen this. This is the third shoe to fall. Umicore, one example, a Belgian EV battery manufacturing plant, pulled its plants from Canada, as well as Northvolt, a Swedish company, pulled its plants from Canada, and all with billions of dollars in funding. And so the average amount of funding goes to about $5 million per worker. And there's really no economic rationale for that.
So talk to me about what you think the fix is here for this. You say Canada needs a real Canada first strategy, one with Canadian-owned innovation at the center. What could such a strategy look like, do you think?
Yeah, we need to play to our strengths and not go to the low-cost labor play. We need to have innovative Canadian firms, automotive firms that build, innovate, and create new technologies, battery technologies, camshafts, all these other things, or not camshafts anymore, but other things that would be high performing, and then get those Canadian firms into global markets. And they're the ones that are manufacturing in those global markets, commercializing there. And so it's not about building the technology. It's about innovating, creating, and owning that technology, and then having others build it for you, and then you get the royalties for that innovation.
So is there no project like that is in the works or existing right now in Canada?
Yeah, no. So we want to be the Stellantis, and we want to be in South Korea and the Netherlands, and having them build do the heavy lifting for us rather than the other way around. And so we're essentially paying to work at the concession while they're playing for the championship. We're not even on the ice.
So do you believe that Canada is then able to actually hold a competitive spot for EV? In other words, that, as you say, the technology, that the entire car be built, I think that's what you're getting at, is the entire car needs to be built somewhere in Canada.
Yeah, so it's not as much about where the car is built. It's about who owns the technology, who owns the IP, who controls the data. And those are the ones that are going to economically benefit. And so we need to be driving that through Canadian firms. Where is our strategic advantage? What do we have? We have critical minerals. And how do we unlock that value, for example, and be the ones that capture the innovation on it, not the ones that are sitting there physically watching the robots do the work.
Is there a glimmer of hope? Is there anywhere any bright spot in Canada where you see the potential for this to be happening at the moment?
Yeah, it's very dismal. This doesn't look good. The challenge is any new Canadian firm that wants to innovate in this space is going up against competitors who are getting billions of dollars in subsidies. And the Canadian firms are the ones footing the bill for this. So we're basically paying our biggest, strongest, most competitive players in this space, most aggressive players, billions of dollars to compete and basically take our value and then run us out of business. So we have to have a complete reshift and rethink of our strategy here to actually play for the championship.
Okay, thank you for that, Jim. That's Jim Hinton, founder of Own Innovation, speaking to us from Cambridge, Ontario. Appreciate your time.
Great, thank you.